So welcome back to another Living Life episode. Usually we like to bring out some interesting cars for you and review them, and you know, the sole purpose of us is to drive them and experience the cars. I bring you an interesting one. It's an import, it's Japanese, and here it is. It's a 1990 Mazda MX5. So here it is, and I'd like you to meet Elliot.
Hello.
Thank you for bringing your car. Really nice nick, actually.
It's not too bad. It's pretty much original condition. There's a few bits that have been welded here and there, as some of you may know. MX5s love a little bit of rust, especially when they're over here in the UK with our salty roads.
Notice you've done a few things. I mean, you've got the LED light conversion kit in there as well. So was that a must need, was it?
It's more of a need and a must, because I mean, a lot of people do it, but the original lights are like candles in a jar, basically. It's really hard to see anything, so these give me a much wider view of the road at night, which is nice.
What's interesting as well with yours, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a V Special, isn't it?
It is a V Special.
It's a V Special, which is quite a standard model, isn't it?
It's not too standard, it's not too rare. It's like there's a fair few about. It mainly they came in either this neo green or like a jet black kind of colour. I'm not sure what the black's called.
Right, yeah,
and
sure.
The tan roof.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was interesting. Oh yeah, look at that. That is proper tan in there, isn't it? Oh, there's something going on there. That's Oh, hang on a minute. There's two pedals. What's that about?
Unfortunately, this car came with an auto.
Damn, man.
However, because it is such a good shell, I was reluctant to say no just on the fact it was an auto, and it is still a great car with the auto gearbox.
Yeah, nice white clocks. That's brilliant, that is. But it's cozy. It's not. I don't feel cramped. There's so much leg room. I mean, my leg is completely stretched out in here.
That's one of the things.
It's mad.
It lacks sort of like shoulder room. Like you've not got a lot to move each side, and it tends to like be battling with my passengers for the position of having the armrest.
Yeah, that's quite tight.
But leg room wise, like even in the passenger seat, the seat's all the way back, and I can like stretch fully out. I mean, my head's touching the ceiling.
Yeah, and you're quite tall as well.
I mean, I'm 5'11", 6 foot. So
what we'll do now is we'll take it out for a spin and see what it's like. Nice.
Yeah, she's not the quickest thing, but it does get up to speed nicely. Like we said at the start, we're having an auto gearbox. It's quite restricted what you can do with it, because as it changes gear for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can try and learn how it works and things, but it always throws in a gear change to surprise you. Like I didn't want to change them, but
it's the old traditional gearbox, isn't it? So yeah, it's got the 2-in-1.
It's
no flappy paddles.
Yeah, so that's it. It's just basic.
Hit it and go.
Yeah. We've got an overdrive mode as well, so I can put it into like a sportier gear ratio, so it'll hold the gears better. And
oh yeah. Oh, you proper revs out now, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll rev all the way out to 6.5.
It's weird. It's so planted.
But yeah, it just sticks to the road. I mean, even in the wet, it's all right. It sometimes scares you a little bit, but
yeah.
Well, with the tyres I've got on it, I have no complaints about these Toyota Proxy TR1s on it.
Oh, that's a puddle.
Absolutely no assists. It's always going to be a bit spicy in the rain.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got no ABS, no traction control. It is back to basics driving.
It's just how you want it though, isn't it?
It is exactly how you want it. You don't want anything telling you can't do that, you can't do this. You just want to drive.
In terms of engines, so we've got the 1.6.
We've got a 1.6, yeah.
And we've got a 1.8.
And the 1.8.
1.8. What's this one?
This is a 1.6. So people quite quite commonly say, I was like, oh, why didn't you get the 1.8, or like the 1.8's are better. To be honest, with the added weight of the 1.8 engine, it's not actually that dissimilar. They're a little bit more torquey, get up to speed a little bit quicker, but the 1.6s are better for turboing, I believe, and things like that. So.
Oh, right, okay, cool. Because it's the same block, isn't it?
It's the same
it's
block.
The cylinders are different.
Yeah, I believe it's just a bigger bore.
Oh, right. So what you've done under here then?
So under here it came with this strut bar just for strengthening, and yeah, other than that it's completely stuck under here. We painted the rocker cover just to give it a little bit more, makes it look a little bit nicer. But other than that, the only things that have happened in here is general maintenance. It does lack on the power front, which is why eventually I wanna do a turbo kit on this.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I need the manual, otherwise I probably would honestly leave it as an auto, because although I prefer a manual over an auto any day, but it isn't horrendous to drive. It's not like, I can still have fun with it, and it's a lot of money and work that needs to go into making it a manual.
Oh yeah, sure, because there's linkages and things, even missing a pedal as well.
Yeah, it's a pedal box, there's like a fair few different wiring beams that need to be done.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a task I'd take on myself.
Can you turbo an automatic one?
I think you could, but it's just whether you're going to run out of gears. I mean, this will sit at sort of 3.5 at 70.
That's not bad for a 4-speed gearbox.
It isn't awful, but when we're driving around like this, you'll barely ever reach 4. 4th is kind of solely a cruising gear for motorways and fast A roads.
Right, I mean, I know the camera can see it. The shakiness in the car, yes, you feel every single bump, but it's actually quite smooth.
It's not too bad. It's still on the original springs that came from the factory with. Something I also want to change for coilovers at some point. The only thing I've changed ride-wise would be I had a bit of an incident where I blew up my diff a while back.
Oh god.
So I had to put a new diff in, and the rubbers for, basically you've got an arm and it's got rubbers either sides. Yeah, those rubbers were perished and shot on the new one I bought, so I just polybushed it.
I am actually quite impressed with the ride. I mean, you've been in my car and it's not. I mean, mine is like, you go on this road and it's actually like back braking.
I mean, as rattly and as noisy as this car is, it is still 10 times smoother than my daily.
Oh really?
Yeah, my 2010 Toyota Yaris.
Because it's an automatic, I remember you saying this is an open diff, isn't it?
Yes. So again, that's mainly how I blew mine up. They're not a fan of going sideways or drifting. They're not built for it at all. When I blew mine up, I was looking at a lot of videos, diffs and stuff, where there's so much information. The problem with Mazda is that they made so many variants and improved and changed so many things with each car over, like each MX5 they brought out over the years. It's like a car from the 1990 and a car from 1991 could have complete different bits in them, and like things, because they changed everything so often. And they found out with, I mean, this is a very early example, but the open diff in these were the same open diffs that they used in the 70s in the Mazda 323, I'm pretty sure.
Right, okay.
Or
so
the 80s even.
It's based on quite an old vehicle then.
Yeah,
in that sense.
It's one of the reasons that they changed them out for stronger ones, because they're meant to withstand a fair amount, but sometimes they can even go under the stock power, as we see.
Oh, here you go. It's not the quickest thing in the world, but it got up to speed.
It gets there and it cruises quite nicely. It doesn't seem to hate itself or try and explode, which is always a positive.
It doesn't feel sketchy either. I mean, you know, we're doing 60 mile an hour, and
it doesn't jump over the roads when you hit up. Like, it is quite rattly and it's not the most comfortable to hit bumps and stuff in, but it does stick, and
there's no body roll even through that corner. It's just it's direct. It's insane. I mean, once we've got the RS8 running after its rebuild, I so want to experience it and see how that feels, because that's a 10 times bigger car. Yeah, that's just. so tight.
That's one of the things in the auto lax is getting back on the power.
It's the kick down.
It has to kick down, and sometimes the kick downs can be quite violent.
Yeah.
Like when we came onto this road originally, I didn't actually want it to drop down that much. It could have dropped down to second, but it went straight to first.
Right.
And it's all just to do with how much pressure you put on the pedal. It's quite difficult to learn. I remember when I first got this, when I went round back roads and stuff, I was like, and at the time I also didn't know how the overdrive button had worked. So.
No, because I can imagine that being quite dangerous around corners. Because you're coming out the corner and it kicks down, and then you've got so much torque and power.
I mean, I've had it before where I've been going around a corner, it's kicked down, and it's just
sent you off.
Sent me off.
Oh gee, we're going to have loads of technical problems with this, aren't we?
It doesn't seem to be the right day for it.
No, it doesn't.
The technology.
No,
letting us down.
I mean, the problem is with this, the AC doesn't work, does it?
No, it is.
Yeah,
rather hot in here.
So my camera's sitting in on the windscreen here. You can see, and it's just getting blown by hot air. So it's not.
And even when it's on cold, it's hot because it's just engine heat. That's one of the things with old cars as well, with the gearbox tunnel and the exhaust running straight in between me and Samuel here. Yeah, it's just so hot in here 24/7, especially in the summer. But at least you can have the roof down. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the thing. It's if it gets too hot, you put the roof down.
Exactly.
It's just simples, but yeah, I mean, I've been in this with you, and we've had really cold days. We've had the roof down, and just had the heaters blasting. We're not cold, and it's like 5 degrees.
As long as it's dry in the winter, you can still put the roof down, just chuck the heat in, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which is one thing I really like about the newer models, the like Mark III, and some of them came with heated seats. And I've been in my mates with the roof down, and it has been absolutely glorious. I'm still like snuggled up in my seat, but we've got the roof down, and part of owning a convertible is you want to have the roof down as much as you can.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no point having one if you can't.
Exactly.
But now back from the drive, and I've got to say, I'm quite impressed. For not a car that doesn't have a lot of power, it does handle a lot, and I know you can agree on that. It's, I see your aspirations with the turbo upgrade for sure. It just lacks in power, but it does make up for it in handling. It handles so well.
Yeah, and it's sweet. It's smooth.
Can be a bit jumpy in places. I noticed it can be a bit juddery, but it's impressive. It's sometimes better than, I feel like it's better than some modern cars in that sense.
And it's a great bunch of fun for something so small, and it's just nimble.
Yeah, and it's not a big car.
It's a shame Alex couldn't be here today, because I think he would have really enjoyed it. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what Mazda has done to the newer generations of them. But for their first gen, not bad, is it?
Definitely hit the spot on it.
They hit the sweet spot. Thank you, Elliot.
No worries.
I appreciate it.